What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there.
Oh, hey, how's
Uh,
it going? Sorry, I was just doing a
yeah.
little spring clean in there.
We have
So
two.
stupid.
We have two sweeps to talk about on today's show.
I
One
know.
in the NBA.
I contemplated grabbing two brooms, and I was like, no, that's overkill. That's overkill.
You know what? I don't think it would have been. I would have supported it. But man, what a couple what a like month in sports.
Right?
Just insane. Insane. So I'm repping the squad today,
Dude,
Casino.
love
The
it.
Golden Knights are going back to the Stanley Cup finals since what, 2 years ago? The
It was 3 years ago, so they won it 03.
So since 3 years ago, the Knicks are going back to the NBA finals since
Or 03,
1999.
2023. Yeah. Dude, 1999. Man,
That's
some of those celebrities, when they were panning to the celebrities, some of them were like almost in tears.
yeah. I mean, again, I hate the Knicks. I hate the Knicks fans, but that doesn't mean I'm not happy for them because I do
That's
like
fine.
to see teams. What is it? Go back to the finals for the first time in a long time.
Yeah,
So
it's always good unless they're a Canadian team in hockey. Then then screw them.
But let's talk
uh,
about it, Casino. Since it
let's
was
talk
last
about
night,
it.
let's start with the NHL playoffs,
Oh,
the Stanley Cup finals. The Golden Knights sweep the Avalanche 4-0 to go
oh
back to the
wow.
Stanley Cup. I mean, we were talking about it we were talking about it on Monday's show. Best expansion team in the history of sports. I think
Yeah,
it's no
easily,
debate. No debate.
easily, and a lot of people. Those first couple years, everybody was like, especially that first year when the Knights made it, they're like, oh, it's because the expansion team, they got to grab all the best players, this and that. And it's like, no, they didn't. What they did is they leveraged what they could. They go, okay, we won't take your best player. We will take your fastest, best third line player and give us
Mhm.
that. And that's what they built the team around. Because on paper, that team was not a Stanley Cup final team in that first year. But what they did is they accumulated a ton of draft picks, a ton of them. Like for the Penguins, they wanted to keep Murray, and they were okay with getting rid of Fleury. So what they did, they were like, oh, you can have Fleury. We'll give you him, because they got to pick players, this and that. We're going to protect Murray. You can have Fleury. And you could do that if you take, and we'll give you also like a second round pick, this and that. And like the Knights were like, okay, we'll take everything. We'll take everything from you. So what they did is, and why they're so successful is that front office is so good at playing within the boundaries, they were able to put together a massive team, and that's why they won it in 6. Right, they got their Stanley Cup in 6 years. That was the whole thing. Kelly McCrimmon kept saying was Cup in 6. They got it in 6, and they're just smart. They're not afraid to be cutthroat. They're not afraid to get rid of players that everybody likes, coaches that everybody likes. They don't care. I mean, it sucks. My wife goes, I can't be a hockey fan. I can't be a sports fan because just her players get traded and this and that constantly. And granted, she did watch the game last night with me, which was cool, but it was just really funny that everybody is frustrated with the Knights and they call them, the evil empire and the villains and this and that. And it's like, you know what? They didn't do anything wrong. All they did was that front office was being smart, and they've been smart this whole time. Bruce Cassidy, he won you a Stanley Cup. And what do? You cut him, said, nope, we're not going to make the playoffs. We're in jeopardy of not making the playoffs. Boom, bring in the guy that we were talking to before we hired you. And the only coach ever to coach a team that sweeps a President Cup trophy winner. He did it with the Columbus Blue Jackets back in 2019, which is dope. And then he also just did it this year with the Knights, which hats off to John Tortorella. This is his first time back to the Stanley Cup final, though, since he was with the Lightning back in 04. It's just awesome. That shot of adrenaline. I told you when they won game 3 and how they came back and won game 3 being down. I mean, they've never came back from a 3+ goal deficit in postseason history. They were 0-19. The Avalanche were 74-1. And for them to do that, I checked off this game. I was just like, they're gonna win. Whatever it takes, they're gonna win this game. And it took whatever it took. They ended up winning this game. It was great. And the argument of people saying Cale Makar for the Avalanche, him being out and him being injured isn't as impactful as Mark Stone for the Golden Knights. Talent-wise, Cale Makar by leaps and bounds so much better than Mark Stone. It is what it is. But when you need a nail in the coffin, a nail gun type of player, a player that energizes, this is why he is the Vegas Golden Knights captain. This is why people want him on their team, whether he's the most skilled player. He's not the fastest guy. He can barely skate sometimes. He's always injured, but when he's on that ice, he's going to get it done. He got the first goal. He got the first goal in the game 3 to get that whole momentum going. And he started us off started off the Golden Knights last night with the goal to almost ended up being, but it wasn't, the goal that won them the game. So, like, it's just from top to bottom, this team wants to win. They believe in this organization. They do it right there. And, it sucks for the Avs being President Trophy winners. Like, that's a tough pill to swallow, but it is what it is at that point, man. And, reload. You got to reload. And they were a fairly well balanced team, but when you kind of rely on and you constantly talk about, oh, if Nathan McKinnon's out, Cale Makar is out, like, we're not going to be as successful. Like Landeskog, he has to set up, and like if he doesn't, like, we're not really going to be able to manufacture many points or offensive breaks. They were the highest scoring team in the regular season, so like, and that's not all coming from Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon. So, and Nathan McKinnon played this game. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of all the excuses from everybody. The Knights went out there, they won, they kicked ass, and they won. They swept. And whoever comes out of the East, I mean, they've gone to another, we'll get to that in a second. They've gone to another OT game. Like, that's extra hockey. That's a lot of extra hockey. And in hockey, it's very important, as we talked about, we've had this debate before, where whether you want to have rest or if you want to just keep going, right? In hockey, when you have some players banged up, which the Knights have a couple players banged up, you're going to want a little bit of rest, right? A little bit of rest. So hopefully the Hurricanes, in my opinion, hopefully the Hurricanes can go and win the next 2, right? And just make that a 5-game series instead of, a 6 or 7, and get the ball rolling, give the Knights an extra 2 days or so to heal up. That would be huge. So hats off to the Vegas Golden Knights. Hats off to that organization just in general. Again, they know what they're doing. They're not afraid to be cutthroat. They know what it takes to win the most successful franchise, expansion franchise in history, in probably any sport. If you guys know of another team, let us know. Let's talk about that. But it's crazy what they have done in just 9 years of existence. It's wild.
Yeah, because I always think, what is it, of expansion teams, like in the NFL, it was the Jaguars got to like the AFC Championship game like a season or 2 after they got into the league, but nobody for expansion teams that I can remember, especially in our lifetime, has ever been like not only immediate title contenders, but like immediately title contenders for like the first decade of their existence.
Yeah. Like there's been multiple teams, and in hockey, there's been multiple teams like the Oilers, like where they come into the league as an expansion team and they immediately go to the cup within the first couple of years. Like, it's been done before. Like, that happens. But to be as successful constantly, they've missed the playoffs 1 year. And that 1 year, like I was saying last episode, and this is not me trying to be a homer and talk about the Knights, but it's just facts that 1 year they didn't make the playoffs. They were missing half of their starting team the entire season, and they barely missed the playoffs. Like, this team just knows, and this organization knows what it takes to win. And it's wild. It's wild what they do, and it's wild how they see and foresee the future, pretty much, bring in the players. I told you when they brought in Bruce Cassidy, they were going to win the cup. They did. When they brought in Eichel, I'm like, that was a steal. When they got rid of the Toronto Maple Leafs gave us Mitch Marner, I was like, that's another key piece. It's insane what the Knights did when they got Tomas Hertl, who's done pretty well in the playoffs as well. When they got him from the Sharks, what the Knights needed, they addressed. They needed somebody in the power play and the penalty kill. They got him. And instantly they went from one of the worst power play units in the league a couple years back to the best power play unit in the league because they brought in one guy that they knew they needed. Yes, my kids are wild.
Yeah. And then again, the new coach theory once again strikes, which is sometimes you just need a different voice in the locker room. Sometimes you need just a change of philosophy, a change of, I'll take Casino off the screen. Got to get my cup in frame. But yeah, so new coach theory strikes again. Sometimes you just need, again, fresh voice in the locker room, saying something different. And that's all it takes. A 4-0 sweep, 4-0 sweep to go back to the NHL Cup, back to the Stanley Cup. It's astounding. It's crazy. Now, Casino, anything else you want to add about the Knights Avalanche, or can we talk about the Eastern Conference Finals? You're muted, buddy.
Eastern Conference Finals.
So on Monday, we recorded a show. Monday night, Hurricanes Canadians went to the second OT in a row. The Hurricanes won on the road. Thoughts on this matchup? Thoughts on this series? Is it still the Hurricanes series to lose?
Oh, definitely. It's still the Hurricanes series to lose. Like, you know what? Hats off to Montreal. I thought that they were not going to put up as much of a fight. I thought they would win one, maybe two through this series, but I kind of didn't expect them to win game one.
Especially as handedly as they did.
Yeah, again, but that might have just been, they were feeling it. They were ready to go. They were buzzing. And the Hurricanes, they had all that time off multiple times, sweeping the first two series. So I think, like I said last episode, like they're getting their skates underneath them right now, right? So they're starting to feel a little bit better about moving forward. Here, I'm going to pull this game up. Why I want to pull it up? They're starting to feel good about themselves moving forward, and that's what they need. They're doing what they need to do, closing out both of those games, right? It's tough to win an OT because it puts a whole new pressure on, right? Especially in hockey, like it is golden goal situation. So you score, it's over. And in the playoffs, you don't go to the shootout. You just keep playing hockey until somebody scores. So it just adds more and more pressure to the game. And that's something you got to really take consideration. And with what the Hurricanes have been able to do and be able to actually win those close games, that's the signs of a team that is just better, right? That's just the thing. They're just gonna be a little bit better than the Canadians. And it's not saying the Canadians don't have what it takes to win, but the Hurricanes, they just have a little bit more.
Yeah. Now, what is it? Now that the Knights are going to the Stanley Cup Finals, do you think they should be the favorite over both the Canadians and the Hurricanes as of this moment?
I would say so, just with how they're playing. I mean, right now, under John Tortorella, since they've come in, they are 19-4-1. They've won 19 games, 5 losses, 1 being in extra time, and then 4 in regulation. That's it, right? And those four are only during the playoffs, right? So it's crazy. They are 11-4 in the playoffs. They're crushing it. And so Mark Stone talked about it last night after the game. They were interviewing him as they were doing the whole trophy and whatnot. That what was it with him coming in? That sparked, and he's like, we didn't really play anything different. We're not doing anything different. He just brought in a jolt of adrenaline and just talked to us a little bit differently. Obviously, he's not going to talk bad about Bruce Cassidy, but just kind of talked to us a little differently and basically gave us a shot of adrenaline that we needed. So, yeah, I do think the Knights are the favorites right now. Let's see what the odds are as of. Do you have them up?
No, I do not.
Let's see here, as ESPN. Well, it still has this one as of this morning, 3 hours ago. It still has the Hurricanes, the favorites to win. They are on ESPN as -110, and Knights are +120. And then it's a big drop off, +950 for the Canadians, and obviously we don't have to worry about the Avalanche anymore. So, so no, what it is the Hurricanes are still favored, and that's totally fine, totally fine. But and then then I'm looking at moneypuck.com right now that their predictions. This isn't an official betting site though, but they do have the Knights winning the cup. It's going to be close, but they do pretty much. Everybody's writing off Montreal, which we'll see. We'll see. If see how tonight goes and if they can even that series, but I don't see it. I see the Hurricanes Knights. My preseason prediction might come true. VGK, they have already stamped that, and Carolina being up 2-1. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for this. I'm very happy. I'm very happy that my original pick, and I did sway a little bit there before the coaching change because the Knights just couldn't score. That I moved over to Colorado, Carolina, and it almost was Colorado. At least I'm on par with. I knew at least the three teams. The Canadians, that's a shocker. I thought it was going to be the Lightning versus the Hurricanes, but this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. The Knights are not favored, but it's very damn close. It's very damn close. I'll tell you, if this goes to game 6 or game 7 in the East, then I do think the Knights become favored.
Well, this begs the question we always ask, Casino, and we can segue over to the NBA on that, which is, does rest help, or does just keeping the motors running and just going from game to game to game with just all the momentum in the world? That is kind of, again, in hockey, I don't know what the benefit of it is. In the NBA, I don't know. The Knicks are, let's talk about it. They did sweep the Cavs.
The only thing as you say, you don't know for hockey, the only thing is hockey's very aggressive and players get hurt. So
yeah,
just an extra couple days, I think is helpful, but too long, like you saw with the Hurricanes in game 1 in the Eastern Conference, might not be great. So it's a very fine line. So I kind of want the Hurricanes to close out the next 2 and just go 5, give Knights 2 extra days. But yeah, now let's move on to the New York Knickerbockers.
They have won their second sweep series in a row in this playoff series. Again, they've only lost 2 games. So they are 12-2? That is 12-2 in this playoff
that's awesome.
run. It's insane.
I mean, but they have been playing a little bit of some cupcakes in an easier conference.
Well,
so
that's the first thing is I've already seen comparisons to the 2011 Mavs team that had the hardest path to the NBA Finals that everybody agrees was one of the hardest paths outside of that Rockets team, but it's not even a little bit comparable. This road for the Knicks has not been the gauntlet that Rockets team faced, that the Mavs team faced. Now,
I was at my friend's house who's a diehard Mavs fan. That's his favorite sports team of all time. Man, watching his excitement during that whole playoffs was just a joy as a sports fan to watch, because what they were doing that series, or what they were doing that whole postseason, was wild.
Yeah,
it's just
they
wild.
had to,
and I don't feel that same way with the Knicks. I have a couple Knicks friends, and I'm just like, congratulations, sure.
Yeah, they had to play the Trailblazers, the Lakers, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then beat the Miami Heat, which was the super team. Like, I don't think that's even a comparison to what we've seen with this Knicks team. Now, that being said, there was multiple times during this playoff run where I was just like, oh, whoever comes out of the East has no shot whatsoever against the West. Now that we've seen how the Knicks have just been utterly dominant, I mean, to show how dominant they are in a closeout game, what is it, against this Cavaliers team? And again, we always talk about how hard it is to beat the same team, not only repeatedly, but especially 4 teams in a row in any sport. Right? Like, just because eventually you just slip up, you have a bad game, bad shooting night, whatever. In a closeout game 4 at Cleveland, so on the road, the win probability for the Cleveland Cavaliers was never in a positive where they had the potential to win. after, do you want to guess, Casino?
2 minutes and 34 seconds.
With 6 minutes left in the first quarter, the Cavs missed a 3-point shot, and their win probability was never in their favor after 6 minutes into the game. Again, in a closeout game where you're at home, you have basically lost the game and never had a shot at winning 6 minutes into the game. That is for the fourth time you're playing a team where, again, I still think in 2 of those games they had a real shot at upsetting the Knicks, but the Cleveland, again, we can talk about them another time. This is about the Knicks, and what the Knicks do best is they just, again, they're a great shooting team. They just play with a lot of energy. Like, they just play with a team where it's like they look like they're excited to be here. They look like they like playing basketball. They look like they have actual, the opposite of what was going on in the Rockets Kevin Durant run team this year, where it was just like you watch them and you read stuff and you listen to the post-game interviews and you're just like, oh, not only does this team hate each other, they like feel like they hate playing basketball. Like, they feel like they don't even want to be here. That's why, again, we can always I always put the asterisk with the bubble championship the Lakers won, is because most of those guys on other teams were like, you could tell they were just sick of being in the bubble. Like, that was one of those things where they didn't want to play basketball. They hated the bubble. They wanted to be home or with their families. Like, when you have people just actively being like, we don't want to do this, how can you be like, oh my God, best championship ever? Now,
Right.
for this run, this Knicks team, again, the energy's there. First time they've been to a final since 1999, which is insane. We're now in 2026. To what have you seen from this Knicks team, Casino, that do you think, I'll phrase it in a different way. What percentage chance would you give them against either the Spurs or the Thunder in the NBA Finals? Because at one point for me, it was like, dude, it's like 10% chance. Now I think I'm kind of like at 40% chance. I really do think this Knicks
I was
team
going to say 37.96.
that is that's very specific and probably right on. Probably, I mean, the more specific you can get. I don't
Just
think
makes it feel better that you're onto something, right? Whether you are or not, you got to fake it till you make it.
yeah, and people also can't be like, "Oh man, I'm mad at him." Like, that's just your opinion, man. It's your
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't
And I
know,
abide
just
by it.
watching this Thunder Spurs series, we got spoiled with game 1, which was one of the best games I've ever seen just in a basketball game, where you were like, oh my God, this is game 1, double OT. This is how this game, Wemby going off, just crazy shots left and right. Everybody, when we got on these podcasts the next days, when we got on the sports shows, was just like, oh my God, this is the series we've been waiting for. This series is going to save basketball, all that kind of stuff. There has not been another good game in this series since game 1, because after that, it was, Thunder had a statement game to take back home field or home court advantage, all that kind of stuff. They win the next 2. Wemby looks off. Spurs have no depth whatsoever. Their bench does nothing. And you're just like, oh, maybe game 1 was an anomaly. It's just going to be now a gentleman's sweep. And then all of a sudden, Spurs win 1. And last night, the Thunder win in dominant fashion with some real shaky calls. I think, again, we're the show now that I feel like is just known for bitching about the refs. Can somebody, I'm going to show you a clip right here from the game last night.
I'm so
that
over it.
When I was watching live, I do not understand it. And also, what is it? We got a new one. Jamie Daniels, the union of losers yapping all day in their rooms while real killers put in the work outside. I don't know if he's talking about us or if he's talking about one of the teams we're talking about.
I mean, I am in my room. That is a good call. Like, well done.
In their rooms while real killers put in the work outside. Jamie Daniels, who were you talking about specifically? Are you talking about us? And also, It's 9:30 in the morning. Calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down. Jesus
We know
Christ.
what we are. We know what we are. We're the dumpy whites, right? We're the
Yeah.
dumpy whites, and I got my kids out there yelling and screaming, and it's all great.
Yeah, union of losers as we both sit in houses we own with our children in the house, doing a podcast
As
talking
I'm
about
sitting
sports.
here looking out at my pool and all the things that are very successful, but it's
Yeah,
okay. It's okay.
yeah.
Oh man, I really
But
like this
Jamie
shirt that I got
Daniels,
when I went to Hawaii. When I went to Hawaii and was able to spend
don't.
$400 on a golf round. Man,
Anyways,
whatever. Sorry.
so
Moving forward.
please, Jamie Daniels, elaborate. But okay, we need to watch this clip right here. Also, it's from ironically Haters Report, which is just apropos of nothing. But
Apropos.
when we watch this play, Casino, tell me after we watch it who you think should have the penalty called on them. Okay, so
I know
here
what
we
play this
go.
is. I watched.
It makes no sense. So he gets elbowed in the throat. There. Okay, again, sometimes
Watch Castle. Like when that happened, it's like done.
It's just so weird. I don't. Yeah, and then well, you can see both the Spurs guy, Castle, and the other one on the right side of the screen. He like throws his hands up and just kind of puts it on his head and is just like, what are we doing? Because again, right here, even if this is not a penalty, which it looks like it is, because his forearm kind of just
You got to go
right
to the. You got to go to the chest. Like even if it was accidental, like that could be a foul. But if you're not going to call that, fine. That's fine.
This is my entire point, is the one you're making right now.
Yeah.
If you don't call this,
which is
elbow,
fine, which
again, if let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say this is accidental, which we'll say it doesn't look to be, it's not a Wemby-esque elbow to the face.
It looks like he's trying to go to the chest and it comes up and gets a little
and maybe
high.
Maybe Harper thought he was going to try to go past him instead of through him. So maybe he lowers himself down. So again, this we can say incidental. Right here at this moment, again, you do not call this a penalty. So how the hell is this a penalty?
He knew what he was doing.
There is.
I mean, why? I mean, you don't need to pause it right there. Like,
we'll just leave it at this while we talk. There is no contact right here. Literally nothing. He stops on a dime. Again, he stops on a dime for what purpose right here? Because the 3-point line is what? If he was going up for a 3-point shot or trying to attempt a shot, he would have stopped here. So he stops about 2-3 feet short of the line. He again does not have the ball in his hand. So he's not attempting to pass it. He's not attempting to shoot it. So if he's not attempting to pass it, he's not attempting to shoot it, he stops 3 feet from the 3-point line. There's only one other option that can be here right now, which is he's trying to draw the foul. He expects there to be contact in the back. He expects there to be much more egregious contact, or Harper just to run into him. But then he doesn't. Harper does not run into him. So instead, you just get, I mean, how can you not call this a flop? This is just
he jumps forward.
This is the definition
watch his feet. He just throws his feet out from underneath him.
Yeah. It's again, he's
doing burpees, dude. I'm very familiar with those at the gym. He's doing burpees. Like, watch down.
And then again, the Holmgren and Shea are just like, yep, just how we drew it up. Just let's go to the line. Let's get our free throws. When people say that, and I tried to resist this for so long, you know my opinion on refs if you've listened to the show at all, which is I hate bad calls either for or against my team because I know it's always going to come back and fuck my team. right? It's always going to come back. If you get the benefit of the doubt one game, 3 games from now, you know your team's just absolutely going to get railroaded, right? And
I just don't want to hear it, man. Just
well, that's the thing.
just
Yeah.
just be consistent with the calls. That's all. Be
It's
consistent.
And again, last night was one of those games where you just watch it and you just go, okay, I get why everyone has an issue with with calls. I get why everybody has issues with the refs. I get, especially where, again, I tried to resist it forever. I get why people do not like the Oklahoma City Thunder, because more often than not, they get these gimme free throw attempts just handed to them over stuff like that way more than every other team does.
But
And
it's not even so much about going to the line and getting the points. It's disrupting the flow of the game.
Oh yeah, the constant start and stop. You just go, I just want to see, especially when it's like a 10-20 point game where you're just like, all right, I just want to see some sort of competitive play to where the Spurs are. And to the Spurs credit, they did have like multiple rallies last night where it was like, uh-oh, here they go. Here comes the comeback. And then the Thunder would just, yeah, and then the Thunder would stop it. But there's just, again, this series has turned into, I don't know. It's just,
I didn't think a team could be cheering more. The hate for OKC right now is so insane. And you thought everybody was gonna be like, oh, we don't want the Knicks. You know what? I'm gonna cheer my ass off for the Knicks to win a title against OKC. 100%. Because at least Brunson and whatnot and what they're doing over there, they're playing as a team. They're just playing good ball. Like they're being good at playing basketball. Like the Villanova Knicks is what that's one of their nicknames. Which I think is dope, by the way.
That is cool. It is cool, and it's also I like seeing videos where there's the video of Jalen Brunson at the airport, like finding out a couple seasons ago that they traded for Josh Hart, who also went to Villanova. And so he was ecstatic. He was like excited. And now Josh Hart, what is it? He was like a starter. Then he got put in the bench. Now he like does limited minutes. But when he comes in, he's a more enthusiastic Caruso who has less impact on the court, but it's more where we've talked about this before, like the kind of heart and soul and like energy of teams where it's not necessarily the best player, but it's the guy when he steps on the court just kind of lifts everybody up, and almost everybody else plays better when he's around. That's kind of what Josh Hart has become. So it's nice that they all have that Villanova connection. And then it's also I like when teams are put together like this, where the star player is excited to get another player on the team. Oh, right. Yeah. And it's just like,
and he didn't do it.
Exactly. Yes. But last night, Casino, how many free throw attempts do you think SGA had? Just off the top of your head.
16.
Close. 17 free throw attempts. And again, the clip we just showed was not one of the calls. So Josh Reynolds, who is a big Eagles account I follow, so shout out to him. He put together a compilation of a minute and a half of some of the egregious calls last night. Now I'm going to play this with sound or else it's just going to be us sitting here for a minute, 23 seconds. So if there's for some reason when you're listening to this or watching this on replay, there is a minute 30 or where you just cut, that's because we watched the video and they cut out the audio. So that part will be cut out, and then we'll be talking about it if they don't let this slide. And by them, I mean the YouTube Nazis that for some reason put strikes on a minute and a half of basketball highlights. But here we go. Here is just a minute 23 of the calls that were egregious just in game 5, just in the game last night. Let's see how many of them we can agree with.
Where's the foul, Riz? There is none. Oh. Okay, there is none. Play on.
Again, this one we just saw.
Harper
No call on the
Team
Thunder,
contact,
call on the
and he
Spurs.
gets the game from behind, and Harper picks up the foul. And they were moving, the officials were rotating, so they had to wait. That allowed Castle to get up close on SGA. He was looking for the ball in the cylinder when Wallace got up there.
Oh, man, that's so close.
That was not called goaltending.
That's going
Not called goaltending. How?
No doubt.
It's
And
on
it
the
was close.
rim.
Who was it off of? Let's see if they flip the call or not.
All right, let's go. That's
Call
all it
stays.
is.
Call
Someone's
stays.
got to get the ball out of bounds.
Ball. They look back and say challenge. Johnson says, what? Looked over the bench and said, come on, challenge. And he said, wait a minute. How come the ball got put in play? He saw it was right there. The bench was doing the same thing. Again, so they get
a window, but off of Hardenstein right there. Caruso threw the hands back and he knew he couldn't get it. He was going to chase it down at first.
You talking me through the jump ball here?
So again,
none. Zero.
You know the officiating's bad when you can tell the announcers of the game are getting frustrated by the calls.
Dude,
like that's how you always know it's bad. Like
the coach and the players are on the court saying challenge. Oh, well, they threw the ball in. Like, no, they're on the court yelling, challenge it. Like,
well, that one, again, to me, that one's the most egregious, and we can watch that one again. I'll do it without the sound.
Dude.
Where in this group of people do you think the ball goes off? Again, right there, they're assuming it goes off Wemby's foot. But if it went on Wemby's foot, the ball would be coming towards the camera. It wouldn't keep going to the right.
It's not even that. It's not even that they missed that part of the call. It's the fact that they did not let the challenge happen.
Oh yeah,
that's
players
how you know
mind.
That's how you know the fix is in. And I don't like saying that. I really don't. But like, he's standing in the court. The players are standing on the court going challenge, and then they don't call it. Like, what the hell?
No.
If anything, like you're gonna give the Spurs a foul because all their players are on the court, their coaches are on the court, and it's a live ball.
Yeah. And now the thing I do not understand is when it's big market teams, when it's big market, cities, when it's a home game, like in the NBA, when it's the Celtics, when it's the Lakers, when it's Miami, like, like big teams, big franchises, big markets, big cities, Bulls, whatever. When those teams are good, they go, oh, well, obviously they're going to get the call. Knicks, you can obviously throw in there, even though I don't think we've seen like egregious Knicks calls. But I'm saying the big market teams in big cities, you go, oh, the NBA wants those teams in prominent games because they're the biggest markets. They make the most money, blah, 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 blah. In the MLB, it's the Dodgers, Yankees. In NFL, it kind of doesn't apply to the NFL because the NFL is just so huge. It's like bigger than one team, but you can say Cowboys, blah, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? It's all these big market teams that from these big cities, you go, oh, well, they're getting the calls because they want them in primetime games, in the playoffs, in prominent games. Oklahoma City is not a major market, B, like a franchise that, you look at the ratings and it's like, oh, well, when OKC's on, the ratings go through the roof. They're not in the league of the other teams. So what is even the NBA's or the refs' rationale where it's just like, well, I don't know what you want us to do. They get every call. Like, what is the rationale for it? I don't understand it at all. Again, against a Spurs team where you would think the Spurs would be the bigger fish in the bigger pond, where it's like they're a Texas team. Spurs have this, longevity of being, always in the title picture, title contenders, big market. I don't understand it at all. How are the Oklahoma City Thunder this team where they're getting all the calls and it's like almost like they're getting all the calls and then the NBA is just like, oh yeah, we hear your complaints, but we just don't care.
I
Like,
mean,
I
what was
don't get
it was what 32 attempts to 38 attempts, I think, for free throws. But so people are going to argue and say, oh, they're both in the 30s. That's what I do recall. It's like, oh, but they're comparable. Like, it's not like they didn't get calls as well. And it's like, that's not the point. It's the egregious calls that are being called that shouldn't be called. Like, it's
Yeah.
just wild.
Well,
wild.
it's also, again, like we were talking about, it's always comes at a time where it's just like, okay, Spurs are making the comeback. And then it's like, let's call a ticky-tack foul, like, to like slow this down. It's just weird timing. Again, it's one of those things where you can be Jamie Daniels and say we're losers yapping all day in a room or whatever, but you listen to the broadcast, you watch the broadcast, the other team, every single player, like you said, is on the court screaming about it. The coach is getting in a screaming match with the ref over it. The announcers are like, wait, there's got to be a challenge. How are they not challenging this? So right there you have people watching the game, people calling the game, people playing the game, and people coaching the game. Every single one of those groups of people are all in agreement. So again, you can say, oh, it's the fans. Like, again, you and I don't give a shit about the Spurs or the Thunder. So this isn't our team's getting screwed over rant. This is one of those things where you just go, when you're watching the game, you go, wait a second, what's going on here? Like, and it's not only, and again, I've tried to resist it for as long as I could, where it's just like, oh, people just don't like the Thunder. When you watch Thunder games, especially,
we had this
again,
argument last episode.
Yeah,
You're just like, I've seen SGA play really good too. Like, it's not always just his flop. I don't know, man.
Well, again, last night he also did have the best game of this series that he has had. He had, what is it? He had 32 points, 2 rebounds, 9 assists.
How many of those were free throws? Half of them?
But this is the thing. He had 17 free throws. Again, he had 17 free throws. Caruso had the second best performance on the team. He had 8 rebounds. It's just, again, and then you look at the Spurs and you just go, yeah, Wemby also had 12 free throws. But when you look at how the Oklahoma City Thunder are guarding him during the game, he has 2 guys hanging all over him for most of the game. If anything, when you're watching the games, you're like, Shea should get half the free throws he gets, and Wembanyama should get double the free throw attempts he does, just in how they're being guarded.
I just had a thought of this. It reminds me of the argument people had with Gronkowski and just tight ends in general, when they're like, oh, we have to go low, or we have to, do this kind of a penalty because that's the only way, like, we're going to be able to stop him. Okay, that's not a problem that, you have to figure it out. That's not his problem that he should be dealing with. He's put in the work, right? Like,
well, it's also one of those things where it's like
wild. It's like, Joe, well, we have to do that, so and he could take it. So we're not going to foul him. We're not going to foul him. Wemby can take all that abuse. We're not gonna call that foul. It's like SGA is smaller. Like, we need to make sure we call that, right? he's not as skilled.
Also, it's the thing where you go, oh, well, SGA just does that because he always falls to the ground because of injury. We've already seen that. We talked about that on Monday. And then it's just like, okay, but then what about the times where he's falling down and there's nobody around him?
Yeah.
So is that also to avoid injury? How is repeatedly hitting the ground over and over again and helping?
I watch a lot of international soccer. I watch a lot of soccer or football, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from. But it is wild. He flops more than almost any player that I've seen in soccer. Like, yes, falling and getting the call and getting the contact, that's one thing, but they're not trying to draw the contact. They see like in soccer, they see the opportunity, like, oh, I'm gonna get hit here, or there's gonna be contact. Then they go down to try to sell it, to try to get the to get the ball in their favor, whatever it may be, get a free kick in a dangerous area. But And I hate that. I hate that. There's players in the league that in all of soccer that I can't stand because of it. Neymar being one. There was one time where Neymar, he actually fractured his back. He got knee to the back and he starts rolling around. And I was like, oh, that's just him being loser. Get up, stop crying. And then it came out that he actually had a fracture in his spine. I was like, oh, all right, well, cry wolf too many times. That's the kind of situation. But
Yeah,
like in basketball, what SGA is doing is he is trying to draw contact and he's flopping at the same time. And that's what we see visually. And it bugs the shit out of everybody, not just us, everybody.
well,
Because
and now,
what are you doing? Like if
well,
you,
now
if you
it's
actually,
even.
I was to say,
Well,
if
go
you
ahead.
just if you actually get hit, like if you actually take on massive contact, go down, try to get the call. That's part of the game. That's fine. And that's his argument about it all is, oh, it's part of the game. Other people do it. I get that. But don't try to draw the contact and flop at the same time because you just look goofy doing it. And that's
Yeah.
where people are getting upset.
Well, it's one of those things where he doesn't even try to avoid contact and then it just happens to him. He doesn't try to do any of these, things where it's like, oh, well, there was one last game where it was like he's going up for a shot and then the guy kind of like walks into him, he falls. Shea comes down, he falls to the ground. It's like at least that one, the rule is you're not supposed to impede the shooter when he's in the air. Right. So that one, it's people were like, this is egregious. It's like, okay, but technically that is the rule where the guy's standing there where when Shea comes down, he lands on the guy. That's a penalty.
But Shea jumps in with no. Yes,
no,
but no.
This one they were talking about, he didn't. He didn't
Okay.
though. So, but that what you're saying is what my point is, which is just, yeah, but you also can't run straight into the guy and then go to jump and then just be like, oh, he was impeding me when I was doing my shot. It was like you ran into him.
He's impeding my landing and whatnot. My landing
Yeah,
zone.
it's like you were jumping into him to draw the foul. Like those two things are not the same. The other one is clearly a foul, clearly how everybody plays basketball. The other one is you're trying to make it look like the first one. And again, like Casino says, in game time, it looks weird. It looks goofy. It looks dumb. When you slow it down, you're just like, oh, this is like egregious kind of thing. And again, the NBA are the real villains in this because their officiating is what leads to games like this, where you're like calling these ticky-tack dumb shit and the ticky-tack dumb fouls getting more and more ridiculous is a direct result of you not nipping this in the bud when it first started becoming an issue. Because again, last year, everybody had this issue with the Thunder. This year, during the regular season, everybody has had this issue with the Thunder. And now in primetime games, when there's only 2 basketball games, and now with the Knicks sweeping, there's only going to be 1 game on television. You don't think this is going to become a bigger and bigger issue when the spotlight is on one specific game with 2 teams? Where, again, if this ends up being the finals, ends up being Thunder Knicks, and what is it? You're in Madison Square Garden. Knicks haven't been there since 99.
Oh, man.
All the Knicks fans coming out of the woodwork. You don't think that the entire MSG is just going to be booze like the entire game the second Shea starts getting these type of calls? Like, is that the foot forward?
Dude, somebody's going to have to hold back Spike Lee, dude. Like,
again, it's also going to be one of those
the
things.
biggest Knicks fan ever. Like somebody's gonna have to hold him back, dude. Like, if
him and Ben Stiller and Timothy Chalamet are just going to gang jump Shea Alexander in the locker room. It's just going to be, again, it's bad basketball. It makes the games worse. And when these games are 20-point blowouts that never get lower than a 10-point blowout, like, yeah, it's frustrating to watch where you're just watching it and you're just being like, just let them play. Like, let them play. And also, if you're going to not call somebody forearming somebody in the throat, you can't call a penalty on the other guy literally 30 seconds later when he comes up behind him and like has his hands on his back and the guy jumps in the air like he just got stabbed in the back. It's just,
this is something that I just really appreciate about watching when I watch hockey is they set the tone right away. You pretty much know. I mean, obviously, there's a couple things missed here and there, but that's sports, right? But they set the tone of what they're going to allow, what they're not going to allow. They have to kind of reel in the players and see if it's going to get out of hand. We got to be stricter. They're going to not go after each other. We're going to let it play open a little bit more. But they always have the same rule of wherever they set the line, if you pass that line with retaliation, like somebody can go up and they're allowing, some minor cross checks going, right? If that happens and the other person comes up and cross check them back, you're going to the box because they always get the retaliation. So they set the line and they're very strict about this. There was, it was like, I don't know, like 6 years ago when there was tons of bad play calling or refereeing for the linesmen and everybody in hockey, where they aren't allowed to be in the postseason as refs and linesmen anymore. They're not. They have been 86th lifetime ban to being refs in the postseason because they don't put up with that shit. They don't allow that. And, that's why when people say there's nothing like playoff hockey, yes, it's fun, it's exciting, but I think it's because it's very well balanced and they don't let the game be decided by the refs. They let the game be decided by the players. They set the tone, and that's where it's at. And that's why I have a big struggle with the NBA and watching SGA and the OKC right now. And I hate the Knicks. This is a Boston fan saying it. I hate the Knicks. I will cheer for the Knicks if it is OKC versus the Knicks because I don't like the style of play OKC is doing. It's not the sport. It's not the sport. Grow up and play ball. Brunson's gonna I think he's gonna have a hell of a series. Whoever he plays, I think he's gonna go out there, he's gonna ball, and he's gonna do what he can to give the Knicks the best shot. I don't think it's gonna be enough, especially if they play OKC, but we'll see.
Well, it's also last thing on this is this discussion and this play like downgrades how good this Oklahoma City Thunder is and how good this team is and how good the players are. Like, again, this team destroys the Spurs when two players have good games. Again, it's not Shea. We've already seen them win a game this series without Shea having a good game. It's McCain and it's Caruso. So when McCain is on, like, he's maybe my favorite player to watch in these entire playoffs because he just plays with such intensity and emotion. And it's like contagious to not only his team, but like the fans and the announcers.
When you can't do what you did in game 4 and, throw up horrible numbers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's like a game changer when he comes in. Same with Caruso, who, again, it's just funny how he does just straight up look like Elmer Fudd from Space Jam, and he comes out with the headband, and he's just fun.
It's so good.
The Oklahoma City Thunder, when they're not doing the foul baiting shit, is a fun team to watch. And more importantly, they're a good to great to dominant team without the foul baiting. So it's one of those things where you just go, you guys would already be here and win as many, if not two fewer games if you didn't do the foul baiting. Like,
they're gonna
you
do
would
it
be a
their
fun
captain,
team.
the MVP of the league, their captain, their main guy, the face of the league.
Yeah.
He is doing that, so they're going to do it.
They're going to do it. And again, Wemby, what is it?
Works.
Skipped. People make too much of this. I don't understand it. Where now people are giving Wemby shit because he didn't do the post-game interview after last night or whatever. Like, why do we make athletes do this? Well, again, why do we make athletes or coaches do this after a loss? Like, if after a win, talk to them all day. After a loss, like, yeah, I'm probably pissed off too. Especially if I'm Wemby and the coaches and the other players on the Spurs that think you got screwed in calls. Like, yeah, I'd walk out of the press conference too because probably in the press conference.
They want players and people to slip up. That's why there is a whole PR department in everywhere. Big corporations, they have, how do you talk to the press? Right? Yeah. They have that's a profession in this world is I'm going to teach you how to talk to people so you don't screw up. That's what they want. They want, especially in, in big moments like this. They want people to screw up. They're going to try to bait people. And I love it when coaches, and that's why I always respected Belichick when people would ask him something that was very, off color or whatever, that's not pertaining to just what's going on with the sport, or what is going on with his team directly. He doesn't even answer it. He just goes to the next question. Like, don't be that kind of person. Don't be that kind of thing. But that's the media. That's what they're supposed to do. So that's why, man. That's why they have that. And I don't agree with it. I agree with you. I think if they lose, just let them go off. Let them go home. Figure it out.
Well, because like you said, it is the thing where it's like, oh, hopefully they say something so we can find them. Yeah. Like, hopefully we can somehow make money from this. And then last thing on the NBA, because I just saw this pop up in the feed or on the Twitter feed, a lot of people just go, well, he's just playing in the rules. He's just playing by the rules. Yeah, my issue is with the NBA allowing this to go on for so long. Like, again, the NBA is the issue, not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
He's the whole rant that I just said. Like, if you get the contact, like if somebody initiates the contact to you, go down. Try to sell it, right? Try to get the call. That's part of the game. But when you,
it doesn't mean it's fun to watch.
No,
it doesn't mean we like it.
But when what everybody's having the problem is you are deliberately trying to flop and get the calls, with no contact, or you're going into them and you're making the contact. That's where people are getting upset. That's where I'm upset.
Yeah. It's just, again, it's not fun to watch. I don't care if it's in the rules. It's not fun to watch. Last thing, let's talk a little NFL before we get out of here, Casino.
Yeah, I don't got much longer.
So Josh Jacobs,
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah, the running back for used to be the Raiders, now the Packers, was arrested on strangulation and suffocation assault charge. What is it? He was in Wisconsin when it happened, and 4 misdemeanor charges against his pregnant girlfriend, pregnant somebody, but. Thoughts on this, Casino?
I don't have many thoughts on this besides it's sickening that these people make so much money that they work so hard to get to the position that they're in, and they just decide they want to throw it away. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that people have that thought where they are like, yeah, it's okay. Like, I make all this money. Like, I'm going to go do, like, dude, you're throwing away your life. You're throwing away everything you worked hard for. I just don't get it. I don't understand it either. It's one of those things where, so it says here officially, Green Bay Packers running back Josh Jacobs was arrested Tuesday and booked on several domestic violence charges. According to the Wisconsin Police Department, Jacobs, 28, was booked on charges of battery, domestic abuse, disorderly conduct, and intimidation of a victim. But like you're saying, it's one of those things where you have, like, you play in the NFL, you basically have generational wealth, right? Like, you sign one contract, especially if you're a good player like Josh Jacobs, you sign one contract, that's generational wealth. I don't care. I don't know why we do this thing now where it's just like, he only got 20 million, like blah, blah. It's like 20 million puts you immediately in the 1%. You can put, 15 of that million in the bank, never touch it. You have generational wealth. Like, I don't know why people act like, oh, they have millions of dollars. Your grandkids, kids, like your great grandkids, they're set.
Yeah. We're so brainwashed as a society that we think only billionaires have generational wealth. It's like the second you're over like $5 million. That's generational wealth.
I don't even think it's that much. I don't even think it's that much. I mean, if there's any bit of wealth that helps you out financially, like from your parents, like down, like whenever they're gone and they're past, like if they have anything that they can contribute down to you that puts you in a better place, like that to me is like generational wealth, like in a different mindset of that, right? Like you are, but not a lot of people have that, right? Not a lot of people have that. I know we were joking earlier, oh, we own our houses, this and that. Like, you know, that is very awesome that we do that. But, you know, in my mind, it's like my kids are going to be set up because, like, once this house is paid off and this and that, like, they're going to be able to be the beneficiary of this house. Like, they will have some money coming in whenever I'm gone, whatever they want to do with this house. Like, they can sell it, split it, and then they have some extra funds back in for them. Like, so as you're saying, one contract, this and that, like, dude, you've worked so hard. You've changed your life. You've changed the outlook of your family's life, your parents who have struggled, if they have or whatever, which, you know, you hear all these stories of like, yeah, my parents working 3 jobs, taking me to practice, doing all this. And you know what? You worked hard, this and that. Why screw that up for them?
Also, again, everybody, male, female, whatever, has been in annoying relationships their entire life. Do you know how easy it is not to assault someone and how easy it is to not cheat on someone? If we're going back to the Rossini Vrabel thing, it's like the easiest thing in the world when you're arguing with your partner is to just walk away and not hit them. You want to know how I know? Because I've never met a single dude. I've never known a single dude who has hit their chick. And I've known their chicks who are some of the most annoying people on the planet. So I've known dudes who have partners. I've known chicks who have partners who in my head, I go, this is the most annoying person I've ever met in my life. And neither of them have ever hit each other. So right there, you just go, oh, well, I've never done it. I know nobody's ever done it. So again, I know nobody who's ever like been in arrested or domestic violence or whatever. I know nobody I know has ever done that. I've never done it myself. Now you throw in the caveat of, oh yeah, but also if I knew those people and they also had millions of dollars and a job where they're playing a football game for their career, like that makes it where it would be even less likely for them to hit or assault their partner, or again, the Mike Vrabel and Rossini thing, like cheat on their partner. I know a lot of people who have cheated on their partners, but it's one of those things
allegedly anymore.
But it's one of those things where you just go, the easiest thing to do is break up with somebody. The easiest thing to do is not hit somebody else. Like it blows my mind. And also where people just go, well, let's hold on for all the details and all that kind of stuff. He just turned himself in today. So again, it's one of those things where you go, benefit of the doubt. Do you think he did it or didn't do it? Like, benefit of the doubt, probably did it because again, now there's multiple misdemeanors, multiple assault allegations. It's like one of those things where you go, okay, Deshaun Watson, maybe if 1 or 2 masseuses came out and he had 100, you'd be like, okay, somebody's trying to get some money here. When 30 of them all come together and all share the same story, it's just like, all right, maybe benefit of the doubt. You go, what is it? You go, it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. Jamie Daniels is back. Losers are still yapping.
Yeah,
losers hang
us.
well with losers. Okay, well, he is talking about us. Says
well, I mean, and he's hanging out, talking about himself. He's a loser hanging out with the losers. So
that's true. If we're losers, why have you watched us for an hour and 5 minutes? You dork. You dork.
No, loser.
There is a correlation right here. Yes, if we're losers, hop on the loser train, buddy, because you're right there with us. Again, it's just one of those things. Again, I don't get why people are just like, you guys suck. I hate you guys. You're watching the whole episode. Like, leave then. Why are you listening to us? You think we're
don't
losers.
Hit me. Just walk away.
I think the
don't
biggest
hit me with your words. Just walk away.
Again, I think the biggest losers are the ones who comment anonymously on people's posts. And it's just like, you guys suck. It's like, yeah, you're commenting on it. What's dorkier than that? Who comments on things?
I mean, I had somebody comment saying they wanted me to take a shit on their chest. So, I mean, like, that was the whole thing.
Yeah, but that was a compliment. That was a compliment.
That was great.
On that note, Casino,
I got to get going. I got to take my kids to the dentist. Because I'm a loser. I'm a loser, Dad. I got to take my kids to the dentist.
Yeah, I got to actually take my kid. My son turned 14 in April. He just did his first football practice yesterday for high school. for the high school we went to, Casino. I won't
Yeah.
dox him, but yeah, he's going to be potentially playing for our alma mater, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But how time flies, dude.
I don't know.
I already have a kid in high school. That is crazy. I'm
I
21.
don't-
How did this happen? So shout out to the MVP, Jamie Daniels. Go give that loser a follow. Just an absolute dork. Again, he says we're yapping, did 9 comments during this entire show. Wouldn't shut the fuck up. So shout out to him. Shout out to everybody that listened. Also, we had to get a new RSS feed. I knew I would have to do it sooner rather than
Man, I got
later
kids crying.
because
Finish this
Yeah.
talk. I'm out. Adios.
yeah, I'll throw it. Casino. We'll see you on Monday. So last little thing right here, go follow the Only Sports Podcast on wherever you get your podcasts. I'll put the link in the description below of this episode. We started the show under a different name. So when you searched us, it wasn't really popping up because it was popping up under that old name. And I was like, oh, we'll get to it eventually, like change it. Well, eventually I was just like, it's got to be now. We got so many episodes on this thing. Now we're about to hit episode 300, which is insane. So on the YouTube, it's still the same location on rss.com. You can go there, look at our new RSS feed, search us, Only Sports Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. We should pop up now. So follow us on that, do all that kind of stuff. Jamie Daniels yapping like teenagers. Well, you're crying like a baby, so at least we're older than you. This has been the also crying like a baby word nothing. Like, what are you doing? It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Go fucking live your life. This has been the Only Sports Podcast. I'm Will. That was Casino over there. We will see you maybe on Friday, maybe not, but definitely on Monday to talk about the NBA playoffs, the NBA finals, maybe by Monday, the Stanley Cup, all the football news, all that. Follow us. Adios. Only Sports Podcast. Talk to you later.